This is the install on the Driploc Type 1 hinge kit. What you're going to get is a kit that's going to have your set of hinges. It's going to have all the necessary hardware to do the install. And basically the way we're going to start is you're going to have the nuts and bolts that are going to come in your kit. And what we'll do is recommend is that you take these things, kind of hand put them together, set that nut back just a little bit, and go ahead and start threading it. And the idea is to set it, that hinge is going to ride on the inside of this gap, so you don't want to tighten those bolts down too much. From that point, what we want to do is we want to locate these hinges up kind of to the outside, as close as you can get this to the outside edge, okay? And what he's going to do is he's just going to hand tighten those bolts just to kind of hold it in place. He's going to go ahead and slip it up on the other side. Again, hand tighten them. And this just kind of helps him get his position on where he's going to want these hinges to ride. And you can kind of tell on this outside, he's got it back to where it's kind of on this outside edge. So at that point, if he likes where they're at, there's going to be a 1/2 inch wrench. You can use vice grips, crescent wrench, whatever's good. And the key to this thing is when he starts tightening this down, you'll see this thing start to set a gap. Okay? See, that's about an 1/8 inch. Then he's going to take his lock nut, secure it down. He's going to repeat the process on the other side. There again, you can kind of see this thing start to gap just a little bit. You do not have to over tighten these things. That's the biggest key. All we're doing is just biting that thing and binding it in place. Okay, at that point the hinges are set in place. Basically, we've got your self-tapper screws. These are 1.5 inch screws, which are going to hit most of your fan curbs. If you get into like a composition roof, something that needs a little bit more length, which we don't find very often, you may have to get some longer screws, but these should hit about everything you guys are going to face. And the key is, you see how he's kind of letting that drill stop when it bites? You do not want to over tighten these things. So as soon as it hits right there, boom. Okay, at this point we're ready to set our safety chains. And the key to these safety chains is that we want to locate this screw right here in this upper corner, just as close as we can get it, right back up in there. So what we'll do is we'll punch a pilot hole first. Okay, and the reason we do this in 2 steps when we put the hinge or when we put the chain on is because if the screw gets whipping around on you, it could sling that chain around and get you. So, and he won't over tighten this. He's going to get it to just about to the point where it's snug down, because we want a little bit of flexibility in here. Okay. At that point, he's going to repeat the same process on the other side. Now, at this point, we do this with a one-man operation. We don't recommend, or you don't have to have 2 guys if you want to set these hinge kits by yourself. Now, we know that generally we're going to have somewhere in around 6 inches of extra chain when we get done. So what he's going to do is he's going to come up somewhere 4 inches down on the base. There again, he's going to set that one just a little bit loose so it can swing just a little bit. Okay, so at this point he's ready to actually flip this fan. Now we're going to show you the way that we like to do it. This is kind of more the one-man operation. So he sets this thing back and he's going to check his length right there. So obviously what we're looking for is so that fan is back far enough so that the wind can't pull it and blow it back down on somebody's head. And I kind of tell people this, it's like when it gets to a point that it teeters a little bit, if you look and see, you kind of see this thing right here is about balanced. And once it kind of starts to fall back, that's what we're looking for. So what makes this easy now, she's already got the one chain set. Now all he's got to do is kind of take the tension out of it and set up on this other side. There we go.